The attraction of something new is that it's better than what you had before. I recently bought a new computer. Now it's better than my old one, that's for sure. It's got more RAM for a start, so it actually works properly, which is good. The screen's clearer too. It's got more storage and the processing ability is improved as well. But it won't be long, will it, before my new computer doesn't feel new anymore? You know, with every fingerprint that gets on the screen, with every new computer that comes out, with every update that I'm asked to do. It's going to start feeling old pretty quickly. I don't know whether you've bought something new recently, maybe a new car or something like that, and spilled coffee all through it, or scratched it, or trashed it. But when we get something new, that change that it brings, it's not permanent, is it? But it's different with Jesus. With the new reality that Jesus brings comes permanent change. See, when Jesus arrives on this earth as the Messiah, as God with us, he brings with him the invitation to find forgiveness in him. And last week we saw that he has the authority to forgive sins and to restore our relationship with God and to restore our relationship with each other. This week, we're focusing in on this new reality that Jesus brings, this new state of affairs where the forgiveness of sins is now possible. And what we're going to see is that we need to see it for what it actually is. That is, new. See, Jesus isn't just microwaving old material. He's not just airbrushing something that's old. Jesus isn't taking what is old and refurbishing it, and that is all. What Jesus introduces to us is something completely new. It's a new deal. It's a game changer. The new reality that Jesus brings changes everything. And it changed the way that his disciples lived in their world. And John the Baptist's disciples noticed that. And so they asked Jesus a question in verse 14, "How is it that we and the Pharisees fast often, but your disciples do not fast?" And Jesus' response to their question is interesting. He responds with 3 illustrations of the new reality that he brings. He's showing us with these illustrations that we need to see this reality for what it is, that it is in fact new. Let's read on, verse 15. Jesus answered, "How can the guests of the bridegroom mourn while he is with them? The time will come when the bridegroom will be taken from them, then they will fast. No one sews a patch of unshrunk cloth on an old garment, for the patch will pull away from the garment, making the tear worse. Neither do people pour new wine into old wineskins. If they do, the skins will burst, the wine will run out, and the wineskins will be ruined. No, they pour new wine into new wineskins, and both are preserved." The first illustration is the wedding celebration. Jesus is saying that his arrival and the forgiveness of sins that he brings is something to celebrate, like a wedding, not something to mourn, like death at a funeral. The next 2 illustrations, the clothes patching illustration and the wine pouring illustration, are basically saying that Jesus hasn't come to just patch something new onto old Judaism or pour something new into old Judaism. What Jesus brings is fundamentally new. If you sew an unshrunk bit of cloth on an old garment, it rips, just like this. If you pour new wine, which is still fermenting, into old, hard, brittle wineskins, they're going to burst open, a bit like this. Don't get me wrong. Jesus isn't saying that the old isn't important, that it didn't have a purpose. He hasn't come to abolish it. We've seen that already in Matthew's Gospel. But the old was straining ahead and looking forward to something new and something better. And that something new and something better has arrived with Jesus, who has the authority to forgive sins and mend a broken relationship with God and our broken relationships with each other.